We're going live.
Well, good morning, everybody. Alex Sedell, Fampax 5-Star Ford and Chevrolet,
Good
here with
morning.
Ricardo and Courtney. Go ahead,
Wow.
Ricardo.
Just jump right in, Alex. Just jump right in, buddy.
That's why we love him, you guys.
Welcome to
Hey,
another episode of Force for Growth Live. How's
happy
it going?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's Ricardo. I'm Courtney, and that's Alex. He's very unforgettable. But real quick, it's a very special Wednesday, but it's still hump day. So hump over your hurdle. Whatever you're struggling with, get it done, get it out of the way, and we're here to help.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's Veterans Day.
it is.
And that's why we asked Alex to hop on to talk a little bit about Veterans Day. Why is it important? Why does it matter? And really, the overall arching theme to me is honor.
Yeah.
What do you think, Alex? Tell us, talk to us, chat us up.
Let's see what I think about veterans. I grew up in a veteran household. My dad was in for 20 plus years as a Navy enlisted guy. He joined when he was in the Philippines to get away from the Philippines because he had some family issues. I joined because I didn't have a way to pay for college. And bottom line, joining the military offered me an avenue to get out where I was living and to put my life on a different trajectory. A lot of folks that are in the military, they join for patriotic reasons. A lot of them join because of personal reasons or financial reasons. But the biggest thing is they all have a common seed, and that is they sign a blank check, as I see it, to the United States to serve under the president that's in that office at that time until further notice. And that is the ultimate in volunteering. That's the ultimate in service. That's the ultimate in giving of yourself. And you still see that in today in some of those veterans that are no longer in the military. And so when I say make somebody smile today because it's Veterans Day, because you might make their day, some of those veterans out there, they don't want to be known. Some people just want to be quiet and they just serve. And that's cool. Others, they'll put their purple heart everywhere, as they should. But veterans have paid the price that comes with time. Because I joined when a lot of folks were getting into business and they were rising quickly. And I joined so I could work 80 hours a week and get paid a lot less. But I learned some lessons that changed my life and put me on a different track.
What
ahead.
makes me super happy, I have a old buddy of mine, an older gentleman, veteran, Bob, sending you lots of love. And he's told me stories about when he came home from deployment that they would cuss at him and yell at him and even go as far as throwing feces at him and calling him all sorts of bad names at that time. And so for me, whenever I see just people saying thank you for your service, I feel that we've turned a corner from that time period, that we understand that they're doing what they signed up to do. We have our own opinion about it. However, I love the fact that we can come together now and say, okay, even though this is my opinion and I don't agree with you being over there or what's going on, I can still appreciate what you're doing for me.
Amen. Absolutely. I remember when I first started training, my gosh, they told us when they were giving us orders, put your military ID in a different box, a different bag. Don't travel with uniform on, because if there's a hijacking, if there's something else that's happening, you'll be the first person that'll be killed because you're military. You'll be the first to stand up against it, bottom line. And that still happens in certain parts of the world now. But things have changed after the Gulf Wars, and now your military folks are. Hang on, apologize. Now your military folks, at least, are given honor, and all I ask is that for the young people out there, before you go into business, before you do something else, consider the military, especially if you don't know what you want to do with life, but you want to get a perspective on life in general. There's nothing better than any branch of the military to teach you about the chain of command, teach you where you're in the world and how the United States can affect the world, unlike any other country that's out there today. And I was on another interview, and they asked, "Would you do it again?" Absolutely. I'm a little bit older now. God, I'm 57 years old, and I'm not what I was when I was 20. But bottom line is, more than happy to do it again. So,
Wow.
That's one. And I really appreciate you educating those of us that haven't been through a service ourselves, but I do also come from a veteran family. My grandfather, Ronald J. Carr, Colonel Ronald J. Carr of the Army and chaplain, and he's no longer with us. He passed away 11 years ago, but I learned something at his funeral. So my family has a basis in one denomination of Christianity, Episcopalian, and that's what I grew up with. I really love the philosophy, the open-mindedness of it, the storytelling. I'm very metaphor type. But at his funeral, I learned they were originally Catholic, and when he returned from Vietnam and tried to go to church, his first time back from Vietnam, they spit in his face, and the entire denomination rejected him, not just that church. And sorry, it's big because it's anyway. And you taught us that this morning about how I don't know. There's just a lot that you can express and you should express to those around you today. And I feel very passionate about it, but I appreciate you teaching me that because I didn't know that they're taught to not bring attention to yourself for those reasons. So it's freedoms I don't have to think about thanks
Correct.
to every single one veterans out there.
let me add that. Let's say if you're going to another country and you've got a bunch of your guys in your department all sitting around in a cafe, the first thing that the senior officer tells his other folks, don't stand in groups of 2 or 3 or more because you could be a target for get blown up. And that still happens today in different parts of the world. It's just different mindsets. Or somebody gets on your airplane, you're watching. I don't want to go on that side of it. I do want to say, veterans today, say hello, tell them thank you, because you might make their day.
It's important, especially the older one. I think about my buddy Bob.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way we can go back in time and apologize for that, but we can make up for it by showing the appreciation today and showing the appreciation for what they did. Not just what they did when they were deployed, but how we treated them when they got home. And right now, if your favorite color is blue or your favorite color is red, the reason you can go on there and type up whatever you feel on Facebook or whatever other platform you like is because of a veteran.
Absolutely.
That's the only reason.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And I remember being somewhere else. I told somebody else, try that in another country.
It won't work.
It won't work. I have an uncle that disappeared in the Philippines because he did that exactly. That was before things have changed. But bottom line is the value of life, the way they govern other countries, you'll just disappear. Inside the United States, you're protected. Inside the United States, you have the freedom of speech and you can do certain things. And it's not always our job to agree, but you have the right to voice your opinion. I may not have to agree and I may not like it, but it is your right. And that's part of our freedoms as Americans.
And that's the amazing part.
Yeah.
As a veteran, like you just said it, you just summed it up right there. As a veteran, you may not agree. You may not like what people are sharing or saying or feeling or protesting or whatever. However, the one thing you can agree on is I'm going to go fight for your right to do that, even though I don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that's the ultimate meaning of honor. Like somebody honors your opinion that's so different. We're all growing together right now. America's in an awkward growth stage, to say the least, but we're growing together. We need to keep that in mind, even if we're on certain sides of certain things. So I
think that's the perfect phrase right there. We're growing together because in the end, this is our country. This is our community. It's what we make of it. And I think that we all need to stick together because we're stronger together than apart. So,
yes.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Yes. And one thing that we can all agree on is we love our veterans.
Yes.
Too kind.
At least that's what I think. At least that's what I see. At least that's what I see. So today, I think it would be, I love already seeing all the posts with everyone in their uniforms and everyone commenting, posting, hey, thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day. And what I'm loving more about today in particular is the fact that I see people disagreeing about this and disagreeing about that for about a week now. And these people that are disagreeing about this or that are all posting, thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm.
talk about being able to set that aside for at least an hour, a minute, a day to just thank a veteran. How important is that? How big is that? That's huge.
That's huge because a lot of your veterans, they've gone through basic training where they beat you down, then they build you back up mentally and physically. And so have any kind of encouragement from the outside, it might be that one hook that helps them across, makes them feel good. They might be having the worst day in their life, but bottom line is just say thank you, and it can change the entire trajectory of that day. So I'm a big believer in positive affirmations and cheering the people around you to make yourself feel better. And I think we need more of that. So I'm in favor.
Let me ask you, why do you think some of the veterans don't like to be acknowledged or prefer to stay in the background?
Well, the easy answer is that they did their thing, and to them, they don't need affirmation from the world. They did what they wanted to do to serve somebody else and serve the country. That's the easy answer. Then there's other answers in between that could be their experience, could be what they're doing next, or maybe they're still involved with stuff and they're told not to take the spotlight. So
all sorts of reasons.
There's all sorts of reasons. I'd like to think it's the best part that says, you know what, in their own mind, they're happy with what they did. They don't need any more affirmation or support because they did what was in their heart. So that's,
And that's why it's important to flood your social media with thank you, because you don't know who's seeing it. You don't know who's a veteran. They might not even post about it or say about it or anything about it.
Right.
But they're scrolling through and they see 5, 10, 15, 20. Thank you for your service post. Wow.
Yep. Well, I would like to say is our service members that are from the Gulf War or from deployments now, they're under more stress mentally than any of the past veterans, I think, just because whether it be what they went through, lack of sleep, too much coffee, and who knows what else, they need more support than anybody else that's out there right now. Because I was approached by somebody else and their idea of a veteran was just the opposite of somebody giving to the community, just the opposite of someone caring about somebody else, more or less somebody that was wild-eyed and a menace to society. I want to say just the opposite. Your veterans are the best people in your society because they already put a deposit out there. And some of them are having trouble adjusting, and some have flashbacks. When you get back from a war zone or an active duty zone where every few seconds there's something blowing off, bottom line is any loud noise that's around you sets you off. You're in a large crowd and inside of an audience of 500, next thing you're wondering, it's like, where's the door? How can I stand next to the door and be ready to go if something happens? That's just part of it. But if you know a veteran, especially they served in the last 15 years, reach out to them, especially if you haven't talked to them in a while, and ask them, how are you? Do you have any friends that need some support or need someone to say hello? Yeah.
That's so important.
Could change their entire day, life.
Yep.
Really can.
Absolutely. And
Thank
on
you,
a brighter note,
down.
I would say that today in Farmers Branch, they're having a veteran celebration where they're bringing in 3 entertainers that will make you smile, sing some great songs, and have a nice meal in a large parking lot. And I was going to attend that, and then I was told to get some people together because we're now going to Brookhaven Country Club as a treat from the company. So unexpected surprise there.
So calling up a veteran, showing some support, showing some love. What other ways could we support our veterans, not just today, but throughout the year?
I say you can help out with the Dallas Veterans U.S. Chamber of Commerce or the Veterans Center of North Texas. The Veterans Center of North Texas is in Collin County. It's 100% volunteer. All the proceeds help veterans get readjusted. Help out with the local VA. They've always got volunteers out there that need more help in their ranks. To help out with the Dallas U.S. Veteran Chamber of Commerce. They need veterans who are starting their own business, or they need patriots who aren't veterans but want to support veterans that are out there. get in touch with Christine Campo out there at 214-714-5344. Or for the Veterans Center of North Texas, contact Paul at 214-600-2966. And if you can't do that, just help out in your local community if you're a veteran. And I say change the stereotype of some folks and just say, I'm just a volunteer and you don't need to acknowledge me. I'm just here to help out. In fact, if you know me at a lot of the chamber events, my first year there, I'm just there to volunteer and just to help out. And I'll be the first one to arrive to help pick up trash and set things up. And I'll probably be one of the last ones to leave. And at least until they start figuring out they want me to run things after a while. But that's another story altogether. I am a volunteer in the community in the Chambers of Commerce with local school district, as well as local charity of choice, which is MetroCrest Services. And I prefer to be in the background until they need somebody to help coordinate something. And then my number one gift is I'm an arranger, according to the Clifton Strength Finders. And so I start arranging. So.
What you do very well.
It's important. Everything you said, help make a difference. Help, even if it's just picking up their lawn, go mow their lawn real quick. It doesn't take very much time. And I would love to see this year round, not just on November 11th.
Yep.
Yeah.
This would be awesome to see year round.
Absolutely. There's another cause I think you should be aware out there. American Legion Post 597 in downtown Carrollton. Phone number 972-242-5650. They've revamped things in the last 5 years, and the leadership's changed, and it's a nice, clean, quiet place to have a lunch or breakfast on a Saturday. And they used to make their money in other ways, i.e. A liquor license and beer license, other items. But this year, due to other things, they've chosen not to renew that. And so they're providing a canteen service. So if you want a breakfast or you want a lunch, please consider the American Legion. They've got huge burgers, fantastic breakfast. Oh my goodness gracious. For $6, it's well worth 15 somewhere else. So go by and make a donation. I couldn't say that years ago because there's way too much smoke and way too much beer. But I think now they have cleaned things up, and it's a very nice place to take your family. So
just so
We'll have
I
to
know,
plan a lunch there. Yeah.
for my own knowledge, where does the money from the American Legion go? Because I see those everywhere.
Legions around the country are all entrusted with the idea of helping out with local veterans get reacclimated in society, or veterans that are and give them some community voice in the area. And this particular American Legion is active in helping out with downtown Carrollton, as well as other civic projects in the area. And I'm still learning about them, but the first thing I can do, I can say they have they've cleaned up. Like I said, I'm in sales. If I come out of a place and I smell like smoke, I'm going to lose a sale. So that won't happen anymore. So
that's good.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they got a good burger, so you can't beat that.
Awesome burger, and they're making the right inroads right now with the city and the local community to grow the reputation and make it inviting for all. So if you want to help out with a group that no longer is selling beer and liquor, not that there's anything wrong with that, but bottom line is they need some fundraising help. Stop by the American Legion near you and see if you can help out with something. Okay.
Nice. I love it.
Great tip.
Thank you, Alex.
Yes.
Final thought, Courtney, Veterans Day honor.
I just am really glad that Alex could pop in today. So I just always love learning from you. Thank you for the enlightenment. And just, I appreciate that very much. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate each and every veteran, anyone actively serving, those who lost their lives. I mean, ultimately, just to add to this message, this podcast is how incredibly grateful we are for you guys.
I can't express enough gratitude to all the veterans out there who did it, who stepped up, who are out there protecting our freedoms. I mean, just if you think about it, again, it's so hard for me to wrap my head around it, that people are out there giving their lives to protect freedom, even if they don't agree with what you're saying or talking about or posting or whatever. Even if they don't agree with that, they're still willing to give up their life to protect your right to do that. Wow.
Yeah. We could take that to heart and just be a little bit more kinder and say thank you a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think people think about that sometimes. Like, think about it.
Yeah. It's hard to remember and bring it full circle.
What kind of person does that? An honorable person.
Very. Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And we'll be back on Friday for another episode. Thank you, Alex.
And real quick, Alex, where can folks find you if they need a hot new car?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. My cell phone number is 972-408-8062. I work at Sam Pack's 5-Star Ford and Chevrolet in Carrollton, in the South Carrollton area. Give me a call, 972-408-8062. Would you believe I always said I'd never be the guy that came into your camera and said, come buy a car from me. But I'm sorry. But hey, I want to thank Ricardo, Courtney, thank you for putting together Force for Growth and being out here passing good words and inspiration, as well as life correction, as well as life direction. Your good work in the community has not gone unnoticed. Don't worry.
And we appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I would like to give a big shout out to Sam Packs in general. They're donating trucks and helping us transport the food on next weekend.
Driving experience on Thursday.
So Thursday, and then we're getting some trucks to help deliver any baskets that might be left over. And so for more information on that, visit basketsforgood.org. And thank you so much, Sam Packs, for helping us with transportation.
All right.
Thank you, guys. And we'll be back on Friday.
Yes. Have a great one.
Take care, guys.